They bid millions, won fortunes, lost everything. But where are they now? Storage Wars gave us unforgettable faces. Barry Weiss with his vintage rides. Darrell Sheets is betting it all. Brandi and Jarrod's explosive chemistry. These weren't just reality stars. They became part of our lives. Then, the cameras stopped rolling. Some vanished overnight. Others tried new ventures and failed. A few struck gold in unexpected ways. But the real story? Nobody talks about what happened after the fame faded. Darrell walked away from the auctions entirely. Barry's life took a dangerous turn that almost ended it all. And Brandi? Her transformation will shock you. The truth is, reality TV success doesn't guarantee a happy ending. For every winner, there's a hidden struggle. Bankruptcy, legal battles, health crises, the kind of drama no script could write. This isn't about nostalgia. This is about survival. We tracked them down, dug through the rumors, separated fact from fiction. What we found will change how you see these treasure hunters forever. Stay with us, because the real treasure hunt begins after the show ends. And trust me, you won't believe where some of these stars landed. The Young Guns split. Brandi Passante's Phoenix moment. Brandi Passante walked into Storage Wars as one half of the Young Guns with Jarrod Schultz. Fans loved them, but behind those on-screen arguments, something was cracking. They split in 2018 but hid it from the world until 2021. They bid against each other now. The chemistry that made them famous had turned into something cold. Fans noticed they were gone from each other's social media. Then came the darker details. In April 2021, Jarrod allegedly pushed Brandi at an Orange County bar after she asked him to leave. He was charged with misdemeanor domestic violence battery. The relationship that entertained millions had ended in accusations and legal trouble. But Brandi didn't disappear. Her net worth sits at $2 million, money she earned while dealing with a relationship that was falling apart behind closed doors. After the split, she started dating realtor Clifford Beaver in 2024. Her Instagram showed a different woman, confident, glowing, free. In October 2021, she got a tattoo on her middle finger, the word free with a bird flying from the second E. She wrote, "To me, this tattoo means that somehow, by the grace of God, I managed to escape a very difficult situation that so many people fall victim to." She launched a podcast called The Real Reality with Brandi Passante in 2025, bringing celebrities to discuss fame and reality TV. She returned for Storage Wars Season 16 in June 2025, stronger than ever, bidding solo. She no longer runs a thrift store, but focuses on hand-picking items at auctions to sell individually. Her strategy changed. Her life changed. Everything changed. Brandi's story isn't about a breakup. It's about a woman who refused to stay broken. Jarrod Schultz, the silent exit. While Brandi flourished, Jarrod faded. He hasn't appeared on Storage Wars since Season 13 in 2021. No grand farewell, no final speech, just gone. When Storage Wars first aired in 2010, Jarrod was 33 years old, full of energy and dreams. He and Brandi weren't just business partners. They were building an empire together. 2 thrift stores, a growing resale business. Reality TV fame is bringing customers through their doors every day. Then, it all collapsed. He now owns Rush Bar and Grill in Lake Forest, California, which he purchased in April 2019. From storage lockers to burgers and beers. It's not glamorous, but it pays the bills. Friends who knew him during his Storage Wars peak say he struggled with the change. Reality TV made him somebody. Now he was just another bar owner in Southern California. His Instagram hasn't been updated since 2021. He was last seen dating Rochelle Beckman, who posted about him in 2022. But details are scarce. He was charged with misdemeanor domestic violence battery. The incident made headlines. Fans turned against him. His reputation crumbled overnight. A&E never officially explained why he didn't return, but the network conducted its own investigation after the 2021 incident. Cast members reportedly felt uncomfortable working with him. Some refused to film if he was present. The decision was clear. The other half was trying to escape the mess he made when the cameras stopped rolling. His thrift stores, the business he built with Brandi, are all gone now. Their orange store permanently closed in early 2016. Barry Weiss, the collector who cheated. Death Barry Weiss was never like the other bidders. He was chasing stories. To him, every locker was a mystery box filled with pieces of forgotten lives. Old photographs, dusty folk art, strange collectibles. If they had history, Barry wanted it. Before television fame, Barry lived a completely different life. He and his brother built a highly successful produce business, working hard for decades. When Barry finally retired, Storage Wars wasn't a job, it was a hobby. A way to stay entertained, meet odd characters, and satisfy his love for unusual things. His sharp humor, vintage cars, and relaxed attitude quickly made him a fan favorite. In 2013, Barry left Storage Wars after season 4, but fans weren't ready to let him go. Producers created a spin-off just for him, Barry's Treasure, which premiered in early 2014. Barry was involved in a serious motorcycle accident that left him with multiple broken bones and internal injuries. He spent months in recovery, and for a time, his survival was uncertain. It was a close call, one that reminded everyone how fragile life can be. Barry eventually returned to Storage Wars in later seasons, but the change was visible. He moved more slowly, spoke softer. The playful spark was still there, but tempered by experience. In 2025, Barry Weiss is alive, quieter, and more reflective. His legacy isn't about money or rare items. It's about moments, stories, and the reminder that sometimes the real treasure is simply surviving and appreciating the journey. Darrell Sheets, the gambler's heart attack. Darrell, the gambler Sheets, never believed in playing it safe. On Storage Wars, he was known for going all in, ignoring small profits, and chasing the kind of lockers that could change everything overnight. Other times, it left him walking away empty-handed. But for Darrell, the risk was the reward. That rush lifting the door and seeing the unknown was what kept his heart racing. In March 2019, that same heart nearly gave out. Darrell shocked fans when he shared a frightening update on Instagram, revealing that he had been seriously ill for months. He explained that he had suffered a mild heart attack and was diagnosed with congestive heart failure, along with a severe lung condition. Everyone thought he was finally in a good place. The recovery was slow and uncertain. 4 weeks after surgery, Darrell returned online with cautious hope. His heart function had improved to 40%, and doctors allowed him to remove his defibrillator vest. He survived, but just barely. The experience forced him to face something he had always pushed aside, his own limits. Darrell stepped away after season 12, yet he couldn't stay gone. Storage Wars wasn't just a show, it was part of who he was. He returned for later seasons, proving that the gambler in him was still alive. By 2023, Darrell opened Show Me Your Junk in Lake Havasu, Arizona. He's still buying, selling, and sharing memories. Despite online rumors, Darrell is alive and active in 2025. His heart may be weaker, but his hunger for the hunt remains just as strong. Dave Hester. Yup, the villain returns. Dave Hester was always the guy everyone loved to hate on Storage Wars. From the very first episode, his loud, commanding voice and signature catchphrase, "You," became instantly recognizable. But it wasn't just the phrase that made him infamous. It was his approach. Dave often bid not to win, but to drive up prices and frustrate other buyers. He thrived on creating tension, earning him the reputation of the show's villain. Fellow cast members saw him as unpredictable and challenging, while fans either loved his antics or loved to root against him. In 2012, Dave made headlines off-camera when he sued A&E, claiming the show was scripted and that producers salted lockers with valuable items. The lawsuit was settled by July 2014, allowing Dave to return in Season 5, but trust had been damaged. Some cast members remained wary, and fans viewed him as a troublemaker rather than just a competitor. Despite controversy, Dave was the highest-paid cast member. Yet after Season 12, health issues, including a stroke, forced him to step away, leaving fans to wonder if they'd ever see the villain return. In June 2025, Dave shocked everyone by returning for Season 16. TMZ captured the moment as he tried to stay hidden at an auction before bursting out with his iconic "You," stunning the cast. Renee Nizoda, Ivy Calvin, and Brandi Passante could only turn in disbelief that their old rival was back. Dan and Laura Dotson, the auctioneers still standing. Dan and Laura Dotson are the steady pulse that keeps Storage Wars alive. While bidders battle for lockers and chase big scores, Dan and Laura control the chaos from the auction floor. They aren't hunters, they're the ones setting the pace. Dan's rapid-fire auctioneer chant pushes bidders to act fast, while Laura's calm but firm business sense keeps everything fair, organized, and moving forward. Together, they turn noisy storage lots into high-pressure arenas. What many fans forget is that their success didn't start with television. Long before Storage Wars became a hit, Dan and Laura had already built a respected auction business across California. Yet, their marriage survived and strengthened because they treated work as a team effort, not a competition. When the show went on hiatus in 2019, some cast members struggled with relevance. Dan and Laura didn't. They simply went back to what they had always done, running live auctions without cameras, scripts, or spotlights. Fame was never their foundation, so losing it didn't shake them. Their reputation in the auction world mattered more than television ratings. When Storage Wars returned, fans were relieved to see familiar faces behind the microphone. Season 16 in 2025 proved that time hadn't slowed them down. Dan still commands attention with his voice, and Laura still handles the business with precision. Ivy Calvin. The King still reigns. Ivy Calvin earned his nickname, the King, through hard work, not through drama or showboating. Before Storage Wars, Ivy lived a completely different life. He was a mixed martial arts fighter who knew how to take hits and keep standing. He played arena football, battling on the field with the same intensity he brings to auctions. These weren't easy careers. They taught him discipline, strategy, and how to stay calm under pressure. When he left sports behind, he opened Grandma's Attic thrift store in Palmdale, California. The store became his foundation, a place where he could turn auction finds into profit without relying on reality TV fame. He joined Storage Wars in Season 3, right after Dave Hester's controversial departure, and became a main buyer in Season 5. The timing was perfect. The show needed someone steady, someone who wouldn't create unnecessary chaos. Ivy brings calm energy to the show. He doesn't scream or cause drama like Dave Hester. He doesn't gamble recklessly like Darrell Sheets. Watching them work together reminds fans that Storage Wars isn't just about treasure hunting, it's about legacy. Ivy is teaching his son how to survive in a tough business, passing down knowledge that can't be learned from any textbook. He frequently teams up with Mary Padian, calling her his BFF. Their friendship adds a light-hearted element to the competitive auctions. While others argue and clash, Ivy and Mary joke around, proving that you can be competitive without being cruel. Ivy is still active in season 16, appearing regularly and winning consistently. He's one of the few original cast members who never left, never caused controversy, and never burned out. Renee and Casey Njoda. The Bargain Hunters adapt. Renee and Casey Njoda have been one of Storage Wars' most consistent and determined teams. Married and business-minded, they quickly became fan favorites for their sharp instincts, strategic bidding, and eye for hidden value. Renee, originally from Germany, had already established himself as a savvy entrepreneur through the Bargain Hunters thrift store in Poway, California, near San Diego. The store was their base of operations, a place to source, sell, and learn the business inside out. They joined Storage Wars in Season 4 and became main buyers by Season 5, earning respect from fellow bidders and viewers alike for their persistence and knowledge. But business, like life, is never static. The pandemic forced many small businesses to pivot or close entirely. But the Njodas survived by embracing e-commerce, selling through platforms like eBay, private sales, and other online marketplaces. Their ability to adjust demonstrated not just business savvy, but resilience, a key trait for anyone in the unpredictable world of storage auctions. Yet together, they remained a formidable presence in the industry, showing that partnerships can evolve without losing effectiveness. As of Season 16, the couple is still actively bidding, proving that flexibility, persistence, and a willingness to adapt keep you alive in this competitive business. The real cost of reality TV fame Storage Wars changed lives, but the price of that change was often higher than anyone expected. What began as a simple show about abandoned lockers slowly turned into a pressure cooker of fame, competition, and constant judgment. For some cast members, the spotlight brought opportunity. For others, it exposed cracks that had been there all along. Brandi and Jarrod Schultz are a clear example. Their relationship, once a central part of the show, struggled under non-stop cameras, public opinions, and business stress. Arguments that might have stayed private became entertainment, and over time, the pressure helped push them apart. Fame didn't create their problems, but it made them impossible to ignore. Darrell Sheets paid a different price. Years of high-stakes gambling and non-stop adrenaline took a serious toll on his health. His heart attack was a wake-up call that nearly cost him his life. Survival came, but it changed him forever. His lawsuit against the show burned bridges and divided fans. Even after returning, the damage to relationships and trust may never fully heal. Fame can open doors, but it can also close them permanently. Reality TV sells the dream of easy money and instant recognition. Barely shows is the stress, public scrutiny, and emotional strain that follow. Some cast members adapted and thrived. Others barely survived the weight of expectations. A few chose to walk away completely, trading paychecks for peace of mind. The show continues, but the faces keep shifting. Season 16, premiering in June 2025 with a new hour-long format, proves one thing clearly. The spotlight moves on, but the cost of standing in it never disappears. Where they stand today. As of 2025, the familiar faces of Storage Wars have all taken different paths, shaped by time, health, success, and personal choices. Some have evolved with the spotlight, while others quietly stepped away, letting the cameras move on without them. Brandi Passante is thriving. No longer defined by past relationships, she has built her own identity beyond the storage units. Fans see her not just as a bidder, but as a voice with experience and growth. Jarrod Schultz chose a different route. Once loud and unpredictable, he now lives mostly off-camera. Running a bar and keeping a low profile, Jarrod avoids the chaos that once followed him. For him, silence seems like peace. Weiss remains a legend. Alive in 2025, he has stepped back from the hunt after his life-altering accident. These days are quieter, slower, and more reflective. Barry isn't chasing lockers anymore. He's enjoying survival. Darrell Sheets continues forward with gratitude. After his health scare, Dave Hester is exactly who fans remember. Loud, controversial, and unforgettable. He returned in season 16 with the same energy, still shouting, "Yup!" and stirring trouble wherever he goes. Storage Wars taught us that treasure comes in many forms. Sometimes it's a $1 million find hidden in a dusty box. Sometimes it's surviving a heart attack and getting back to work. They're real people who gambled everything on abandoned lockers and came out changed, some broken, some stronger, all unforgettable. Season 16 is airing now, bringing back familiar faces and new drama. But the real story isn't what's in the lockers, it's what happened after the cameras stopped rolling. If you enjoyed this deep dive into where the Storage Wars stars are now, hit that like button. Drop a comment telling us which cast member surprised you most. Was it Brandi's transformation? Darrell's survival? Dave's shocking return? We cover the untold stories behind your favorite shows, the drama, the truth, and everything in between. Because the best treasures aren't found in storage units. They're found in the lives people rebuild after the spotlight fades. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.